So last week, a patient came to see me carrying a huge folder of blood test results. She put them on my desk and said, "Look, I've been told everything's normal, but I feel anything but normal." She was exhausted. She'd gained weight. Her hair was thinning. She was struggling to concentrate. And she'd actually stopped exercising because she simply didn't have the energy. And perhaps the saddest part, she was beginning to wonder if it was all in her mind. And she had done exactly what she should have done. She'd been to her GP and had all the blood tests, and she'd been told, "Good news, everything looks normal." Now, before I go any further, I want to say something really important. Doctor wasn't wrong. The blood tests were within the laboratory reference ranges. You see, conventional medicine is brilliant at diagnosing disease, and those results didn't suggest that she had one. But my job is a little different. My job is to ask, why does someone who doesn't feel well have blood tests that are quietly hinting that something isn't quite right? You see, I love advanced functional testing. Sometimes it gives us answers that standard blood tests simply can't. But here's the interesting bit. I often don't need to start there because if you know what you're looking for, even routine NHS blood tests can tell an incredible story, not by looking at one specific result, but by looking at patterns. So maybe, for instance, your ferritin is technically normal, but it's fallen steadily over the last 3 years. Or your vitamin B12 is within range, but nowhere near where we know people feel optimal. Or your HbA1c is normal, but perhaps a little lower than expected for your age. Or the inflammatory markers are creeping up. Or your thyroid is still within the range, but changing. Individually, none of those numbers tell me very much. But together, they start telling me about the person sitting in front of me. And that's why I often describe blood tests as clues. One clue doesn't solve the mystery, but when you put enough clues together, a picture starts to emerge. And this is what this series is about. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to take some of the most common blood markers that I see every day in clinic, things like ferritin, vitamin D, cholesterol, thyroid markers, HbA1c, and many more, and show you how I interpret them through a functional medicine lens. Not to diagnose disease and not to replace your doctor's advice, but to help you understand what your body might be trying to tell you. Because sometimes the story isn't hidden in a single blood test. It's hidden in the connections between them. Most people see a page of numbers. I see a story. I'm Charmaine Shepherd, and I'd love to have you join me on this journey.